Get more confidence in navigating this bull run of Ethereum without having to become an expert in Elliott Wave or technical analysis by spending just half an hour a week on our Ethereum analysis. It's really hard to know what the market is going to do next by looking at a chart if you don't know your Elliott Wave and technical analysis in depth. At Pure Elliott Wave, we have a total combined experience of 19 years. For me, 11 of those as a CMT. We're here to hold your hand and guide you through this bullish run for Ethereum, and you'll know exactly when I'm ready to add to my investment that I bought in 2019 or when I'm ready to sell some or all. Pure Elliott Wave will shortly be providing weekly analysis of Ethereum using Elliott Wave and technical analysis. When we launch this new subscription, we will offer a grandfather rate for the first 24 hours only. Sign up to our notification list to make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. Hello everybody, this is Lara with your Monday to Friday update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. They are all moving sideways. I do still have some reasonable confidence that they all have lows in place. And for Bitcoin, the low of 20th of March has a strong bullish engulfing candlestick pattern suggesting that this pullback is over. The pullback happened around previous all-time highs. We've got new resistance at 73,100, currently finding resistance at 68,400. If price can close above that today with an upward session with push from volume, I will have more confidence in the low of 20th of March. Price is moving sideways overall with declining volume. That's normal during sideways movement. ADX is declining, the DX lines are whipsawing. Previously, ADX indicated the upward trend was very extreme. It's now out of extreme territory and ready to set up for a signal in either direction. The pullback has brought RSI down from deeply overbought. It's nicely in neutral territory. There's plenty of room for the upward trend, the larger upward trend that is, to continue. It's brought money flow down from overbought and exhibiting double bearish divergence. When we have this bearish divergence and conditions reach extreme, it tells us to expect a pullback. That pullback may now be complete. This bearishness could be resolved. They're both back in neutral territory. There's room again for an upward trend to continue. ATR continues to increase as price moves sideways. There's still some strength in this movement. This suggests that the low for 20th of March may well be intact. Weekly Elliott Wave analysis for Ethereum, fitting this into the monthly chart, sees a third wave at cycle degree unfolding as an impulse. Within it we have primary 2 complete here and primary 3, a third wave within a third wave beginning down here. Primary 3 may only subdivide as an impulse. That'll be labelled intermediate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it must meet all of those core Elliott Wave rules. Intermediate 3 may only subdivide as an impulse. That'll be labelled minor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it has to meet all of those core Elliott Wave rules. Minor 3 may only subdivide as an impulse. 1, 2, 3 incomplete, and then 4, and then 5. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. This low here of minute wave 2 is this point here. This first wave count expects the middle of a third wave has passed back here. This is entirely possible even though Ethereum has not yet made new all-time highs. For this big third wave, the middle could pass before new all-time highs, and I am expecting that it's the fifth waves to end these third wave impulses 1 degree higher, which will be the longest, strongest portion of the third wave because that's typical. I can now calculate a target based at 2 degrees now. At 8130, minuet 5 will reach 2.618, the length of minuet 3, and $4 above that. At 8134, minute 3 will reach the extreme Fibonacci ratio, 6.854, the length of minute wave 1. So because this target is a little zone, 2 degrees, only $4 wide, it has a reasonable probability. Within this wave count, minuet 4 may not move into wave 1 price territory below 2717.20, but I do expect it's most likely to be over here. Alternatively, from this low here, if we move all of this down 1 degree, there's your easiest alternate always to change part or all of the degree of labelling within your wave count to consider an alternate. It's possible minuet wave 1, instead of being complete here, is a long extension and is incomplete, with subminuet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the target differs for this. At 4886, subminuet 5 would reach equality in length with subminuet 3. When minuet 1 is complete, the minuet 2 may not move beyond the start of 1. The invalidation point is different at 2092.33, but it shouldn't get down to that point. It should find support at the lower edge of this channel. Very quick technicals for Ethereum. It's moving sideways, potentially a little pennant pattern. I need to be open-minded in redrawing the resistance and support lines of this pennant. The best performing flags and pennants complete within 15 sessions. The angle of entry is down, the flagpole is angled down, so the breakout point should be down. These are continuation patterns. The target taken from the flagpole is at 2313, but I think that's far too low. I think eventually final support about 2,700 or so. But first, Ethereum would need to break below support at 3,050. The other reason why I think it's unlikely that this is going to be completing as a pennant pattern with a downward breakout is on the 20th of March there was a strong bullish piercing pattern, not quite an engulfing pattern but pretty close, and it has pushed from volume. If resistance can be overcome this week at 3,580, look for next resistance above at 4,200. Most likely I am expecting this week upward movement for Ethereum. I'm trying to make that very, very clear for those of you who this technical analysis might be a bit complicated. That bullish reversal pattern has some push from volume. After that, price is moving sideways with declining volume. The volume profile for Ethereum is bullish for the short term. ADX is slightly declining today. The DX lines have started to cross over. There is no clear trend indicated. This pullback has brought ADX down from a very extreme trend situation back into neutral, ready to set up for a new trend. The pullback brought RSI nicely back into neutral. It's below 50 today. Plenty of room for the larger upward trend to now resume. The pullback brought RSI back down from overbought and exhibiting bearish divergence, now in neutral. This bearishness tells us to expect a pullback. The result of that may now be complete. The pullback could be complete. The larger upward trend could resume. Price is moving sideways, but ATR is still showing strength. Volatility remains in this market. This is bullish for the short term. I'll go over weekly and monthly charts for XRP tomorrow, but for today, let's have a quick look at daily. Within a big third wave at primary and intermediate and cycle degree, here's the nested third waves, the start of minor 3 beginning here, a leading expanding diagonal for 1, a deep zigzag for 2, 2 could be complete, 3 could be beginning. If that's the case, we shouldn't see a new low below 0.5689. It's possible we could see minute wave 2 continue lower. This has a low probability in Elliott Wave terms though, because this triangle looks wrong. I wanted to show you this chart today to have a warning about what Elliott Wave triangle should look like. While flags and pennants, reliable continuation patterns, Elliott Wave triangles are always continuation patterns. Unlike flags and pennants though, they have more strict rules and a bunch of guidelines they should adhere to. One of the guidelines, and the one I want to draw your attention to here today, is triangle trend lines. They should be strictly adhered to. This BD trend line is not. Wave E candlestick so far is fully below and outside the BD trend line, and the BD trend line has too steep a slope. Now you should not draw D here, because then it is truncated. D must be a zigzag or double zigzag, A, B, C. C has not moved below the end of A. C is truncated. Truncations are rare. Only accept them in the correct context of a very strong trend. This is in the context of sideways movement. That's not acceptable. It does make the BD trend line fit better, absolutely, and for a pennant pattern this is how you can draw the line, but for an Elliott Wave triangle it should be drawn like this so that D ends at this low and it is not truncated. This makes the Elliott Wave triangle problematic, reducing the probability of this wave count. But let's consider, it's possible. Low probability outcomes sometimes do occur. If minute wave 2 is continuing, we could have A, triangle for B, we need C. If C were to reach equality in length with A, it would move below the invalidation point. That is invalid. The next target, 0.618, the length of A is at 0.5379. While the Elliott Wave triangle is problematic, a pennant is more possible for XRP. This is a continuation pattern. It would expect a downward movement, a downward breakout. The target, 0.4478, is probably too low though, because there's strong technical support in the 54 to 55 cent area. At this low, XRP does not have a bullish reversal pattern, but it is day on day showing some increase in volume when we have upward movement, and day on day showing declining volume when we have downward movement. I am reading the short-term volume profile as bullish, and the strongest recent session was the 10th of March, which had strong volume with strong upward movement. ADX is below 15. It is setting itself up for a strong signal. At this stage, it's too low to indicate a trend. The pullback brought RSI out of bought and exhibited single bearish divergence. We have a pullback. RSI is back in neutral. The bearishness of this signal is probably now resolved. The pullback could be complete. The larger upward trend may be ready to resume. Money flow remains neutral. Today below 50. Plenty of room for an upward trend to resume. ATR still overall showing some increase. That's impressive as price moves sideways. There is still some strength up off that low. That's it from me today with your quick update. I hope everyone had a lovely weekend.